Hey, this is John Keevil, Warbringer.
Hey, I'm Carlos Cruz, drummer of Warbringer.
What's up, guys? Adam, guitar player of Warbringer.
This is what's in my bag.
First item in my bag, for sure in my top 5 films of all time, this is Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. This is an artist to me that I followed for a long time. Before music, my passion was martial arts. Very important to just being an inspiring, hungry artist, coming over to America, trying to do something with his career, going back to China, I believe, working with, I think it was called Golden Harvest, really indie, being, a major success overseas, and then coming and finally getting an opportunity to do something well. Kind of heartbreaking, 2 weeks before the premiere of this at Grauman's Chinese Theater, he passed away. There's that, but this, by far, one of the best martial arts films you'll ever see. He choreographed the whole thing. Major inspiration to me, right here. Enter the Dragon, 73.
First thing I saw was a bunch of coffee mugs, and I just dropped mine on the floor like last week. So this was a very just pragmatic decision, and I had to choose between this and Ace of Spades, but I figured, I like dark coffee, so I prefer to have the flavor of Satan in it. And that was the rationale behind this mug, and I hope, I get a bold flavor out of it.
My first pick, Lethal Weapon 3. Always been a fan of these movies. I'll never get too old for this shit.
Oh yeah, I'm getting too old for this.
I actually have 1, 2, and 4 at home on VHS. Never managed to find this one, so my collection is now complete. Yeah! Any of you that are not familiar with Lethal Weapon, that's dumb. Go check them out. They're great. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, action. The action is dynamite.
Definitely.
As
the text. That's right.
The most frustrating bad guy is the ambassador dude who goes, diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic community.
He's one of those guys that you're really happy when he gets it. That's a key ingredient of a good bad guy is when he does get it, you're like, yeah, suck it.
Do you still have a VHS player?
I do. I collect, I don't really, never started collecting. I just didn't stop buying them.
You have to work a lot harder to find them now.
See, that's why
You
it's
do,
like
yeah.
a mission. You got to come to
As I said,
Amoeba in order to find
My collection is
quality
complete for
content.
Lethal Weapon.
Sheriff's Department. Sheriff? We're LAPD. LAPD.
Yeah. What are you boys doing down there?
Well, we're in the middle of a case of scotch.
Something new that came out, even had the Amoeba staff pick on it. This is from the band Cynic. Their debut record called Focus, 1993, and this is the heaviest song on it. It's called Euroboric Form. So what they did was they took the demos of it, and then prior demos where the band was more centralized around being a death metal band. So this was something really cool. I hadn't seen it before. It caught my eye over here, and it had the staff pick on it. So kudos to, I think his name was Zeke. But this is like the demo, so it's pretty raw, and it's cool to see a band in their youth just kind of hungry and going for it with something like this.
Speaking of new releases, I grabbed a new thrash release that just came out a few days ago. Power Trip Nightmare Logic. I like this one. Obviously we play thrash and we appreciate things with heavy, chunky riffs, and this has a lot of those. And the dude just sounds, the singer dude just sounds like he's like, go away! Like he wants to return to his cave and like break rocks with his face or something. So I fucking love it. It's pure aggression.
Ex Mortis, Ride Forth. I believe this hadn't been released yet when we were on the road with them, or came out in the middle of the tour. We've known these guys for a decade at
Plus,
least.
yeah.
So all cool dudes, super just shreddy, good stuff, and
Guitar lightning.
oh yeah.
The main songwriter, Conan, he actually played in our group and filled in as a guitar player for said tour, so he was doing double duty the entire time, When all of us played like 45 shows, he played 90.
Honor and fear shall be heaped upon his name.
Latest issue, Decibel Magazine. I was browsing through it and then I found a review for our new upcoming record in here. a review from Ice-T on one of our new songs, and then just some advertisements for it. So yeah, great magazine that's been in publication for God knows how long, always putting out new books and features and stuff like that, but it is something great where I can be like, hey mom, check this out, here I am, you know what I mean, in print. So yeah, here it is. Ice-T, giving his kind of blind take on 7 songs he's never heard before, and then ours is the very last one right there. And the tagline, they're pretty hard, I like them. There you go. Ice-T, Colors, Cold as Fuck. Looking forward to this tour. Creator, major influence on our band from our style. I think they have the #1 record in Germany right now, so proud of them. Kudos to them, they're genuine people.
I just love like war history and battles, and I haven't seen this one yet, and the story's pretty interesting. A pacifist dude in the army who won a Medal of Honor by saving a ton of people, essentially with severe wounds. There's some cool human themes I find just in that without knowing anything further of the story.
Directed by this dude.
Oh yeah, directed by this guy here.
That's really good. Really gory.
It's really good. Oh yeah,
Mel Gibson does gore pretty good.
Yeah, it's and I just love anything having to do with the lore of battle. So there you go.
All right, I got Dark Throne's first album, Soulside Journey. This is their death metal album. Their first album was a death metal album. Then they became a pretty straightforward black metal band. Now they're, what do you call them now?
Death and roll, black and roll.
Death and roll, black and roll, whatever.
It's always been pretty
British
raw.
heavy metal influences and stuff. But this one stands out because I knew all their black metal stuff and then kind of went backwards and found this one. And it's basically a death metal album. 1991, really good. For anyone that's familiar with Dark Throne and hasn't heard this album, I would suggest picking it up, as I did, so.
Coming from death metal, black metal talk, going to sunny California in the 60s. By far one of my favorite records. It's gotten me through a lot of touring where you just kind of want to escape all the distortion and all the noise, etc. when you're on the road for so long. Pet Sounds, 66. Inspiring, Brian Wilson taking the reins. He sent the rest of the Beach Boys out to tour, continued to tour. He stayed home and wrote this by himself single-handedly. At the time, you know, him and his kind of, not feud, but competition, fueled by inspiration from like the Beatles. You know what I mean? It's really big where you hear Rubber Soul, you make this record, and then they go back and say, oh, we want to make a record like this, and then Sgt. Pepper comes out. In the world of just music overall, worldwide, a lot of people appreciate this record, and so do I. So, Pet Sounds.
The happy times together we've been spending. I wish that every kiss was never ending. But wouldn't it be nice?
This is a really definitive death metal record. It's Autopsy, Severed Survival. And I got this one partially just because I wanted to point out, this album cover made like all dentistry and any medical treatment a lot worse ever since I saw it and became aware of it. Because you see this exact image all the time, but you know, minus the zombie faces, but then you kind of imagine like a skull beneath the mask or something, the surgical mask or something, and that always just wormed its way into my head. But as far as the music goes, this band has a sound like in the guitar tone and stuff, like, it sounds like it's decomposing and shambling forward. It's very, you know, rotting grave-like sound, and it's very grim and very heavy and cool stuff.
I got a book, Swedish death metal, heavily influenced all of us.
Definitely.
And this is just basically from the ground up, Grave, At the Gates, Entombed, old school Swedish death metal, stuff out of Gothenburg, stuff like that. That's always been a huge influence since I was about 14. So this looks like it might be a really cool read.
And if you want to go more into some metalology, in the early 90s, the two primary death metal scenes are in Florida and in Sweden. And they have stylistic differences. The American scene is a lot more focused on like pummeling, brutality. It is way more rhythmic in its nature. And the Swedish scene has this more like dark melodic quality to it and more like thrashy rhythms and a very certain kind of guitar sound that's unique to it, that is very like buzzy and distorted.
Yeah, this is The Strokes. This came out like 2001. My sister picked it up and it just kept playing on every system we had. Front to back, really, really good record. It's catchy, it's melodic, it's cool, it's got attitude. And a lot of the time, guitarist Albert and guitarist Nick would play off of each other. Split rhythm, split guitars. Very influential to me. Probably my favorite record out of the lot, and the one that follows this up is also very good. It's Rooms on Fire. So yeah, The Strokes.
This is something very near and dear to my heart, and as you'll notice, This is honestly a great record. This movie rules, and it's very near and dear, and there's actually a lot more philosophical elements to the dialogue and writing in it than you would think from a very primitive, barbaric movie. But they just don't make them like this anymore. True fantasy epic, and the film score goes between being like warlike and chest thumping and really like look at the sky and remember your ancestors and type of stuff. And
just look at the back.
Yeah, and look at this beautiful illustration on the back. It's just fantastic. Riders of Doom / Riddle of Steel. I did a narration once where I recorded the father to son speech there. It's really good. You know, it's about technology and stuff if you look at it in an allegorical perspective.
This you can trust.
My favorite one's Theology Civilization, which is just music of high adventure and like running through fields to glory and quests. The sad one, Recovery, is really great, which is it's a like very sad like minor key version of the main theme that's played all soft, and it's very like there's no other way to describe it, you know. But it's brilliant stuff, and it makes the movie, the soundtrack, absolutely. If you just like music with power and soul, this is great.
Yeah, I picked up Berserk, The Advent. For those of you not familiar with Berserk, it is a long-running manga from Japan. If you watch it without knowing any background, it's fine. It's a real head trip. This one kind of fucked me up for about a week, so I just had to get it. If you have a weak stomach, this one's just all over the place and it's nutty. In a good way, not just for the visual aspect, but it's a real piece of work.
No worries, thank you for having us.